Said you were able to have this conversation telepathically within nanoseconds.
Yes. I'm going to attempt to use one hand to push the spear out of the way, and the other hand with the claws straight through his face.
Alright, roll to get the spear out of your face real quick.
That's another 6.
You brush your hand. You're about to you kind of slice the back of your whatever cloth is on your wrist.
Okay.
But you manage to somewhat get it out of your face. Now roll for your attack.
Yeah, I just wanted to nudge it away. That's a 16.
16 will hit. Roll damage.
That's a 4.
4, yes. With whatever you do an upward slash or whatnot, this fishman is dead as well. Falls to the floor.
Awesome.
Now there are 4 of them in your phases.
Okay, I'm gonna put my boot knife away and get my sword out and prepare for battle.
Well, as you're doing that, these fishmen will attempt to go. Ophelia, how does a 10 work? A 10 does not, does it?
No, I have my armor class is 14.
Okay. And a 5 does not work. Elric, how does an 18 work?
That hits.
18 hits. Luckily, they will only do 2d10, not the d6 times 5. So that's, well, just about as good as I could do it for you. So that's 16 damage.
I'm glad I remembered.
And how does a 16 hit?
16 does hit.
16 does hit. Alright, with only 8 damage.
Oh, that's a lot nicer.
These guys, you're kind of wedged against the wall there, so they kind of just easily were able to kind of just stab you.
Do you remember what your health was at?
70.
Okay. Well, I forgot when we switch planes of existence on these boards, the health kind of resets.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's alright, I forgot.
Alright, with that you hear a large pounding on the far end of the wall. Like something's trying to break down a door or something.
I would like to.
I'm sorry, that was good. Nervous Elric noises.
I'm going to kind of like step in the middle of the of all the fish warriors and try and do a multiple attack thing with the sword and kind of swing it around.
Sure, but more or less think of it like this: they're in your face.
Okay,
you're like pinned up to the wall with spears, so to speak.
That still works. I'm going to take my sword and I'm going to try to slash a couple of them all at once.
And I am going to try and duck. Can I do that?
Give me 1, 2, 3, 4 d20 rolls.
3.
Miss.
20.
Hit.
Who?
11.
Miss.
1.
Okay. Elric, roll to duck. She did roll on that 1.
2?
You missed the first guy. You catch the second guy off guard as the first fishman happened to duck. Second fishman, his spear gets cut into pieces. He does not have he has a stick. Third fishman has ducked. The fourth fishman has also ducked. Elric, you now have a haircut.
I'm glad I didn't have ears. At this point, I panic and...
It's like the cartoon, you get a buzz cut.
At this point, I am so panicked and scared that the beast ears pop up.
Alright. The moment is interrupted as a wooden door goes splintering off its hinges from over here. Something has exploded into the room. Wooden little chunks and bits go flying A few of these fishmen are more concerned that something has just blown into the room. Oh well, guys, you are surrounded by like a wall of fishmen. You wouldn't be able to see anything. Would you like to roll? Oh, I guess what would you like to do before I continue?
Since this little one off to the side of me is distracted, can I go ahead and kill him?
I'm not going to let you do a move. Unfortunately, you would have already gone.
Yeah, you attacked.
Technically, it's Elric's turn, but before you do so, I'm asking, would you like a minor action of anything?
Can I just try and, like, peek over one of the fishmen's shoulders?
Oh yeah, you're able to see whatever this will be. Elric, you're kind of... You're traumatized right now. Do you think you could...
Just for fun, I'm gonna roll and see if I can get over the trauma. Because my character panics and does not do combat. I know I keep saying that, but...
Just roll me a straight up d20 real quick. I want to try something.
14.
Perfect. You happen to do a panic roll. I will give that to you as a special ability. A panic roll, it happened to kind of barrel roll underneath the legs of this fishman. So essentially, you are over here now.
Awesome.
But more importantly, you are met with splintery bits meeting you around your hands and feet as this door has exploded across the room.
Not awesome.
Everyone is shocked and looks up to see whatever this thing is.
Including the fishman?
Including the fishman.
What do we all see?
You all hear blurble, 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 as there is also a wall of water at the entrance of this room.
Okay, well, while the fishmen are off guard, I want to try and take out the guy I just rolled under.
Jumping ahead of me.
Sorry.
No problem, you're still planning.
Yeah.
Everyone
that's what I want to-
legitimately takes a second, like, what the heck was that? Blurble, blurble, what was that? Splashing through the room in Gung Ho Manor is a knight in shining armor. Purple shining armor. Who bursts through with a great sword. How about thee, monsters from the depths? And just comes in gung ho. Ah! And will charge these fishmen.
Wait, there's a person over here!
You can't move. That would have been a minor action, or a move.
I didn't mean move it.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of taken aback by this, not expecting to see this of all things. And with this slight disadvantage, this knight will take on the first fishman with a 17. Hit, and with a 2, cleave through this fishman, practically cutting him in half and sending this, well, pieces of him across the room. Now you guys can go. Technically, Elric, it's your turn.
Well, I wish to try and slice, claw this other fishman.
Alright, I will give you disadvantage against the fishman, as he's well, there's something more important in the matter.
At 5?
No, unfortunately not even with disadvantage.
Yeah, I know.
You kind of hit one of his little armor plates.
I'm kind of panicking too. This knight guy just came crashing through a wall. It's like, what?
Ophelia!
I am gonna go ahead and I am going to attack the little guy beside me.
Okay, roll it. That's a hit.
15.
Roll damage.
4.
Fishman is in half. There is half a fishman. Dead. The knight will shout out once more and attempt to cleave into this next fishman like he's weed whacking, and with a 15 does the same. With a 5, and even tinier fish bits gets thrown asunder. Elric, you see a knight wielding a gigantic sword is hacking through fishmen like a hunter cutting through grass. He is advancing.
I want to forego my attack and move out of the way.
Alright.
2 spaces that way.
Do so.
Yeah, right there. Thank you.
Amelia? There's one more fishman up against the wall that this knight is about to harb on.
I want to see if I can get to the fishman before him
Okay.
and kill it. Well, that's a miserable fail.
You trip over one of the dead fishmen in your way.
You slip on visceral guts.
You do. You slip on visceral, and you just straight up miss. This knight will release one more holy weapon attack with a 6. Minces this fishman into bits, as well as even this jellyfish is cleaved in two and falls lifeless to the floor.
I hope you know that was our light source, you big, bumbling, beet-colored... Oh, whatever.
This knight whirls around, his armor now coated in fish viscera. Another victory for the Beat Knight! Huzzah! And will start to rally up his arms in his air like he's hyping. Huzzah! Huzzah!
No big deal. We already killed 2 of them for you.
I'm panicking, trying to brush my ears back to disappear.
Hey, by the way, Elric, your ears are cute.
I just keep trying to pat them down.
This
myself.
knight will quickly spin out his broadsword around, stab it in the ground, and kneel down to one knee. He begins to pray and mutter something. You take a second before he quickly pops up. He will very spryly, for a knight of his substantialness, will spin around and quickly look at you two, pull out something from a small satchel on his side, wave it in your directions, as if holding it out in front of him, and quickly shout out, "Friend or foe?" Both of you roll Constitution saving throws.
Constitution, my Constitution
19
is...
works.
If I'm not mistaken, my Constitution's low. I've got a negative on that. That's a 15 minus 1 is 14.
Alright.
Remember, I can't remember because my character sheet's disappeared.
Ophelia, nothing has changed. He has just jumped out and he has held essentially up a gilded crucifix up in front of you and shouted, "Friend or foe?" Elric, you for some reason find yourself forcibly blurting out, "Friend!"
Friend, I swear!
Ophelia, you have not answered. He focuses in on you.
Friend or foe, I don't know. Are you my friend, or are you going to try and kill me? You seem to cleave through the fishmen quite easily.
I am the defender of all that is holy and vegetoid.
Well, I suppose I can be your friend for now.
He gives a hearty laugh and will stow away his little artifact. And to what pleasure may I owe this acquaintance of these lovely adventures here?
I'm pretty sure we're here for the same reason you are. I think you were at the beginning, weren't you?
He will kind of just retaliate by laughing.
I regained my composure.
The chicken over there is Elric.
This knight will turn towards you and bow in your direction. Wonderful to meet you, Sir Elric. And you, milady?
I'm Ophelia.
A pleasure. He kind of somewhat curtsies towards you. I am known as the Beat Knight. It is a pleasure.
Nice to meet you too.
Wonderful to meet you, Mr. Beat Knight.
Might I inquire, have you guys found any items of interest?
I look at my little golden arrow and tuck it away. No, not really.
I found a book.
Ooh, scripture! He seems intrigued.
If you would care to look at it, so long as I get it back. I mean,
If you are willing to permit, I dare not try and take anyone's items.
Please forgive me if that was an insult. I just cautious around others.
He will give you an it's okay kind of waver and kind of wander over to the stone and start pulling something out of this iron kiln. Both of you notice that this substantial knight, yes, he is a fat knight, seems to be very agile. But more oddly, you are not able to really discern. He is completely armor-coated. He's got the gung-ho of a dwarf, but he appears to be too large for a dwarf.
He's not a fat knight, he's a great knight.
I venture over to try and see what he's getting out of the kiln.
As you walk a little bit closer, you can see he's pulling out bits of wood. Oh, it looks like this kiln is an actual fireplace. He's pulling out bits of wood and just kind of tossing them on the floor right about here.
Is there treasure or something in there?
Ah, alas, no, I believe there's not anything of interest in here. As you now notice, he's kind of gathering, he turns around and starts gathering up this wood around your feet, kind of in a pit-like fashion, as he pulls out a quick flint and tinder and actually lights a campfire. Right here at your feet.
Why are you making a fire?
Well, it is only proper after a good battle to sit and rest and reflect on the opportunity. As
He
he
does
sits,
have a very valid point.
he sits
both
down
need
and
to
pulls
rest.
out another little canteen and actively pours himself a small little drink.
I don't care about you, but I need a break.
So you venture over here, I'm guessing?
Indeed.
Yes, join me, please. He holds up a canteen as if offering a drink.
I accept. Cautiously.
I just kind of stare at him, wondering what his deal is.
He gladly hands over the canteen to you.
Yes, I will take a sip out of the canteen.
Oh, he hands it to Elric, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You notice readily that this knight does not have one of your amulets around his armor. I'm just going to put that right there. And both of you also notice that he does not have any, at least upon first appearance, any special breathing apparatus or anything that would ensure him to breathe underwater. You're just trying to take in what this character is.
Forgive my asking, but I don't...
He seems to
Honestly,
stop what
I
he's
don't
doing.
understand how you're able to move so freely under this water, as I don't see any of the amulets that were doled out to us upon your person.
Yes, you must protect what is given to you as anything of importance, he says as he kind of smacks his chest plate. That kind of leading you to guess he probably is wearing it inside his armor.
Okay.
With that, you actually see him tilt his head up backwards and pour tea from his little teacup into his helmet slits.
night.
You're a very odd individual. I stare at him blankly.
As are you two, he says in a joyous manner. Does anyone take a sip of his canteen?
I will.
You are instantly rejuvenated by this wonderful mixture. You are back at full health. It
Woohoo!
it just is completely the best drink you've ever had.
Wow, what's in that? That was great.
Unfortunately, I cannot disclose the secret recipe, but it is essentially a healing herb we have. We try not to use too many healing potions. We find more, well, let's say more recreational ways to make the body and mind, he says.
I would like to take a drink, and I know herbs. I want to see if I can guess what might be in it.
Okay, you are back at full health as well. This is the best drink you've ever had. You cannot place the flavors, but from what you can gather, these are some very powerful healing herbs. Some almost next level stuff.
Nice.
Wow, thank you. That was amazing.
At this point, the knight will ask you if you have found anything, well, I guess, of your abilities, or what have you found about the dungeon? Have you met anybody? Have you seen anything? What have you found? Etc., etc.
We encountered one other individual and a very large crab.
And a fish man that wouldn't leave us alone.
At the mentioning of the crab, he does speak up and tell you that he, in fact, did find the mother crab.
Yes, it was. We deemed it necessary to leave her alone.
Kind of nods in agreement.
Well, she didn't pose a threat as long as we left her alone, it would seem.
Naturally, he responds.
You shouldn't go picking a fight. Unless the fight picks you.
Picking fights is fun.
I just stare at her again.
With this, the knight will get up and actively stomp out this campfire. And collect his canteen back and saddle it all back away. And ask and inform you that, of course, he cannot stay all day, but now ask if where you guys will be heading off to, as you only have so many hours left in your 12-hour time period.
Well, we are probably going to be going wherever these doors take us. Our goal is the bottom floor.
I hate to ask, but what was on this? What was in the door that you came from? What was in that direction?
He informs you he's basically just went down a hallway and found some shriekers lurking about in a room completely filled with glass. But he informs you if you want to get down to the next level, he can guide you. He's already been down there.
What do you think? This one's on you. There's still plenty we could explore up here.
But he does reiterate, of course, if it's treasure you're looking for, of course exploration is the key.
Right.
But he can guide you in the right direction, if need be, he says.
If you can just tell us the general direction of the next floor, so we can make our way down there slowly.
He points you in two directions. He tells you that this door towards the southwest over here.
Mm-hmm.
He tells you to keep heading in the southwest direction. There is a flight of stairs. After a few rooms. And give me 1 second. He also says it's a little bit trickier. But if you go down the door he came through here, the one towards the south, and kind of keep towards the right, you'll pass a few rooms, and it's a little bit farther out of the reach, but there's a flight of steps.
Okay.
He does also boast up and says he can always do it the easy way, and just leaves it as that and tells you you can always go the easy way.
And what, pray tell, is the easy way?
He chimes up and asks, "Of course, what's the old saying? What happens when you can't find a door?"
You make a door?
"You make a door," he says in joyous, well, appreciation of your answer, as he kind of heartily stomps on the floor with his giant metal boot.
In other words, we break on through. Well, thank you very much, Sir Knight.
Thank you. You've been a pleasure to me. You've been a pleasure to associate with.
"Oh, no problem," he says. "It is certainly my pleasure. But unfortunately, it appears I have practically filled up with my fair share of my treasure, and at this point, I would just like to explore," he says.
Well, best of luck to you.
And thank you for killing the fishmen. Most of them. I did kill 3.
He kind of chimes up and tells you not to hastily, not to dismiss anyone until the intentions are clear. He reiterates that he would like to join you if you guys would allow.
The more people we have on our side, the less I have to fight.
I eye him cautiously. Well, you seem like a good ally. Do you want to come with us?
He expresses once more that he's practically got his fair share of treasure. He's just here for the fight and here for the, well, entertainment, as he puts it. So he's more than welcome to be somewhat of a bodyguard, noticing now and kind of putting towards Elric that you certainly dislike fighting.
I nod vigorously in agreement.
Alright. I guess you're Elric's bodyguard now. I really don't need one, so...
He quickly, clunkily slaps himself together in a militant pose and salutes. He says, "It is a pleasure to service you, sir."
I salute kind of half-heartedly as I'm studying the book.
Well, Elric, which direction do you want to go?
Well, Sir Knight here came from the south. I suggest we try west.
Southwest or just west?
West first. He has not gone there, so let's not waste his time. He's joining us to explore.
He reiterates not to worry about what he wants. He's just here to tag along at this point. Just exhume him to tag along.
I just want to make it as interesting for you as it will be for us.
He reiterates, well, he makes note that wherever he goes, it is always an adventure to him.
Then to the west it is.
You've already killed everything those 2 ways, so we might as well go one way. You haven't killed everything. I would like to kill some things.
I immediately begin to eat my words.
I swim over to the west door. Or I walk over to the west door. I forgot where that door.
Alrighty, give me 1 second real quick. It's a simple wooden door. Rusted as well, but there's a small veil of water you can tell. Just like the rest of everything else.
I didn't cover my gills back up, did I?
No.
No, you're good.
I'm surprised I'm breathing because I didn't actually deactivate the scroll. But I wasn't going to say anything until we got back into the water.
I jump up and try and go back through the water.
Well, there's a door in your way.
Oh. Can I smash the door?
Can you open the door?
No, I want to smash it.
Roll to smash.